Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Earnings Season. I'm Randy Rowe at RT Rowe.
And I'm Danai at HNI.
And this is Earnings Season, you know, and love every week, right? You know it goes. So some weeks we have just Danai and I trying to drop those gems, talking stocks, talking investments, sometimes we're talking housing, anything that comes to us. And you know, like other weeks we have a guest with us. So this week we have a guest, Larren Peart, the Dot himself. Yeah, Mr. Blue Dot himself. I always try to give people the right intro. So, well, I don't know how it feels, so I allow them to introduce themselves. So Larren Peart, Mr. CEO, could you introduce yourself, please, sir?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, Randy and Danai. I'm Larren Peart, and I'm the CEO of BlueDot Insights. We are a insights agency. We get insights from basic traditional research and non-traditional research, as well as data analytics from data mining, neuroscience, behavioral science, everything.
Yeah. Making some fancy, so... Yeah. Should tell you a lot of our listeners are regular people. So people immediately the surveys, but better than everybody else. Meaning faster, quicker with tech.
Targeted.
Very targeted stuff. I don't want to say the wrong thing and I don't want to print because I know Larren, you're going to have a time when it's supposed to be your latest products that you have coming.
Right.
But in essence, people, you're the guy who can tell you what most people in Jamaica are going to do. And also, you listen to this right now, so you'll be seeing, and in the show notes, obviously, a huge set of data, which by now I'm sure has excited people. We're recording this before he has done all his interviews. I know there's some political data in there, so I don't want to screw up anything that might be said in the future or not said in the future. But if you grew up here in politics, which means if you're in Jamaica, you know the importance of polls. You know the importance of getting the people's reactions to things and what people do. And if you know in business where we are today, you realize the importance of knowing where your customer is, your consumer is, and so that we spoke about even on the episode with Gillian, Miss Gilly J, big up Miss Gilly J. We spoke about, I don't know, we made the episode, we might have edited it out, but we were talking about
the fact to get information.
Yeah, man, straight information. Larren, tell me something. The people want to know right off the bat, a quick gem. You know the average income of the average Jamaican? No. Yeah, no one does, right?
No. But the things are we can find out.
Yeah. Well, you guys, if you want to know this data, Larren can definitely do it for you. Blue Dot, let me say it properly, BlueDot Insights.
BlueDot Insights.
Yeah, can do it for you. And that's really what it is. We've always had them, people know from way back in the day, Carl Stone and those guys.
Right.
Yeah, this is the younger generation bringing it up to us. So they're not coming, although they do still do the paper sometimes and ask things, you also have phones and everything.
All right.
Yeah, so that's who Larren is. We're trying to know Larren, how long we know each other now?
Few years, maybe 7, 8.
7, 8 years, so like, 2020.
Yeah.
It might be longer than that, but couple years well.
Yeah, a couple years well.
I like to start saying to Larren off here. We get the questions everybody want to out of the way very quickly, and we get to the real meat of the matter.
All right.
So Larren, I'm not going to beat around the bush. We always address the elephant in the room. Larren is CEO of one of the companies that, how do I say this the right way?
They're a portfolio company. He's a CEO of a portfolio company of a listed venture capital company on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Got SSLBC, what we're talking about.
Right.
And without going into any heavy drama, you would have known SSLBC if you know anything about the stock market, and you'd have known that BlueDot was there. But what some people might not have known is that BlueDot is its own company and actually predates SSLBC.
Yes.
So BlueDot really is an entity that was there before and is still there now. So I thought it was a great time to talk to Larren and have him tell us about BlueDot and touch anything that we can get out of the way very quickly we know. So I would say, Larren, I know there was back and forth in terms of talking about SSLBC and BlueDot and ownership and working things out. Where we are now at the point of recording is a point where you guys now have, in terms of SSLBC, there's a new CEO.
Yes, Zachary Harding is
now
the CEO of the group. They have appointed a COO for the VC. Effectively, Zachary is CEO for the VC as well.
Okay.
But Anthony Dunn is the CEO, and they've added a very fantastic board, and I'm very optimistic for what's happening now.
In the future. Okay, I like that. I like that. So anything what did happen is out of the way, and now we have it. we're handling business. Business.
Yeah, and I mean, if you would know that the stock has gained in the past week, I think.
Larren, come prepared, people. Let me see if it's actually accurate. SSLVC, where are we? As of today, we're recording this the end of the first week of January. SSLVC share price is actually,
I think it's like at $1.30 something.
$1. Yeah, I think it closed at $1. $1 and change, $1.31. Yeah, and it has seen lower lows than that. Yeah.
It's a beating after the halt was lifted.
Yes.
Right.
It did. Right. It went all the way down to $1, so it's actually up 30% more. No,
I think people are optimistic about the changes. So
yeah, I think so too.
I'm in an optimistic mode this year. Can I mention other companies? I mentioned other companies. I told Tyrone eventually I take a stake in a company, and I did take a stake, and I'm up in some profit a little bit, and I think SSLVC. Who knows? Maybe after this interview will be so good, we'll decide to take a stake in there, right? Yeah, it's at an attractive price, depending on how we look at it.
Yeah, man.
So, things out of the way, we can talk about BlueDot Insights and the change. So, I don't talk about a lot of my life before doing any of this. But what some people would know is that I actually spent a lot of time with data insights.
Okay.
A little time with data insights. Enough to learn how important it is and how hard it is to find in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And so people who can do it very quickly and get the data out there are exceedingly valuable. And a company that can do that is exceedingly valuable as companies go. And Larren has one right now. So, which one you want to touch first? The company or the latest results that I know you have, which I'm excited about too?
I'll talk about, Blue Dot. I'll kind of give a backstory to that.
Yeah, tell us the story about that. How you started, when you started, so on and so forth.
Yeah. So, well, a little bit about me. I'm from Obey. Grew up in Montego Bay. Went to Monroe. City set up on a hill, and left there pretty early. Left there at 15, and when I got home, my parents and I. I won't say we weren't getting along, but because I went to boarding school, I thought I was a man. So, under the rule system of my dad, I was like, no, I need to leave this place and get to Kingston. So,
one time.
Yeah. So, so I moved out at 16, almost 17, moved to Kingston.
Really?
Yeah. Started working for a company, and I worked there for 13 years. And
you want to say them or you don't want to say them?
It was AIS, Advanced Integrated Systems.
Okay.
So I used to work for Doug Halsall, who still to this day is one of my mentors, and I consider that to be my university. So I never went to UA or any university for that matter, for financial reasons.
We're in the same boat with that.
Yeah.
But it turns out you can still be good.
Give thanks. I used to be insecure about not having a degree, and I'm not anymore because we do.
You know better.
Yeah. Now I know better, and we're doing okay.
Yeah, some people are too secure about having a degree.
Yeah, that's actually, it's so funny how that works. Because like Larren, for a long time I wondered, what the hell? I used to tell my brother and say, I feel like I have to compete with CXC people if I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, everybody's competing. No matter what you get in school is what you can do.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure.
Yeah. And I mean, now we have like 2 PhDs on staff and 2 PhD pending. So that's
heavy.
Yeah. So anywho, I was working at AIS, and
I don't want to stop that. Big up Doug Halsall. People know him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Big up Doug Halsall. He's put a lot of work over the years.
Yeah. One of
infrastructure.
Yeah.
And he pushes young people.
Yeah, man. Definitely one of the wisest people that I know, for sure. And, he taught me a lot a lot of any innovation or spirit that I have to him. All right. But I worked there for 13 years. I was kind of like his underling, his second eventually. And I just decided that, if I worked, or so I thought, if I worked half as hard for myself as I did for him, then I could make it. You know, I mean, little did I know. You know, I'm tempted almost every week to ask him back for a job. you know, because this entrepreneurship thing rough.
Boy, it only glitz your Instagram.
Yeah.
Tell the people it only glitz your Instagram.
Yeah, man. And that's a problem with us entrepreneurs. We glamorize it too much. I think, you know, not many of us really tell, you know, all of the roller coaster and emotional roller coaster that you go through.
Time to the same thing.
Yeah, man. We glamorize it too much, man. It's, you know.
Wait till they reach and you thought, well, we're here now.
Yeah. But what it take to get there, you know.
That's a serious thing. It's a very serious thing.
Yeah, no, it rough, man. It rough. So yeah, I left. The reason why I left though is I through Doug's, you know, teachings and whatever, mentorship, you know, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, I used to sell lollipop and them thing in school, and I had a little sound system in my bay, and you know, put on parts and them something there. But phone? Yeah. No, sir. We are definitely. Yeah, not anything, but there's no chopper phone business, I'm sure. Think too loud, man. I'm from Bombay, man. But yeah, it wasn't around back then. Not at all. Yeah, it was a different time. It was a different time. But yeah, so what spurred me to resign though was so I used to bust my ass. Not having a degree there, I had to bust my ass to maintain my position, right? And I was hiring people with master's degrees and whatnot. And in the last year, and that was 2013, you know, when you're in a 9-to-5, the one thing you look forward to is your bonus, right? Every year. Yeah, like you work hard to get your bonus. And as a manager, I was expecting like 4 weeks bonus because I was there for so long. Okay. Anyways, long story short, I got 1 week's bonus. Okay. And it completely shattered me. And I was extremely demotivated, all right? And at the time I was reading 48 Laws of Power, and one of the laws says, despise the free lunch, that's one, and two, if you dine at a man's table, you'll forever be beholden to him, something like that. And I promised myself that another Christmas was not going to catch me looking for a bonus. So I made up my mind that December to quit. But fear and everything that involves fear and actually leaving your job, I didn't actually quit until the September. So 9 months later. 9 months more. It took me 9 months. Yeah. No, I know they win. Yeah. It took me 9 months to hand in the resignation, and you know I'll never forget. You know, from I printed the resignation, I just started bawling. All right, fear. Yeah, it was fear, and it was daunting because I only had 2 months saved up. Like it took me 9 months to save up the 2 months worth of, and it's not like it's just rent. It was just 2 months rent alone. So So I was like literally bawling, and I walked upstairs and handed the letter to his daughter, who was the CEO or my immediate boss, I think it was. And she started bawling too, because I literally grew up in the company. I spent 13, almost 14 years there. We're like family, you know, but you know, they understood and yeah, I left. And then at that time, a couple months before that, I met Kimala from the lab. Boy, right. Kimala get the most shoutouts on this thing. I'd met Kimala, and you know, I told her that you know I wanted to go into this research thing because I'd seen an opportunity to marry IT with research, because at the time surveys were still being conducted with pen and paper. Walk road in the sun. Man. Yeah. So also the lab, being a creative agency, they have the clients who I want. So they have the marketing managers and those people who do campaigns who then require market research. So exactly. So Kimala and I formed a partnership. So a lot of people don't know. I mean, hasn't been public knowledge, but Kimala was or is a co-founder of BlueDot.
Right. That's actually something that most people don't know. It's very weird how many things. Yeah, she's so very weird how many little things.
She must the youths, man.
Yeah, man. Empire.
Yeah, man. So Kimala became a co-founder of BlueDot, and and that's how BlueDot started. But the emphasis was always to do something different and think outside the box. I know a lot of people don't like that terminology, but to think differently, to be disruptive, and that's what we did. So we were and still are doing or providing real-time insights and real-time results via the technology that we use. And that led to a lot of competitive advantage for us in the space, and that is what has allowed us to start to grow in the way that we've been growing.
Yeah. And spell it off. I want to insert myself in line, so I can do a little bit of selling to spell it out just for people. In other words, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Larren. BlueDot gets the data quicker. I won't say cheaper, but I will say quicker, fast, and that's very important in the corporate game. Accurately.
Deeper,
yes. Because sometimes I think that people don't know in survey, just because you ask a man what I'm like, doesn't mean his answer is actually true.
Exactly.
So finding out what them actually like. I know you did something where you ask people around a political question. Yeah, man.
So we're heavily invested in this space that's called consumer neuroscience, right? And consumer neuroscience is the marriage of neuromarketing and neuroscience, essentially built on the premise that 90% of our decisions are made subconsciously. And the problem with traditional marketing and traditional research is that it tends to only target the logical or the rational side of the brain for decision making. So that 10%. So like price as an example. So a lot of marketing campaigns are done around pricing, but not the actual emotions and which is what people actually purchase from and context.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So we use that neuroscience technology to measure the body's biometric and physiological response to stimuli or whatever it is that they're being presented with.
Kind of like a lie detector. People are very aspirational, right? And, when you ask explicit questions, so on a scale of 1 to 10, are you health conscious? I would tell you yes, but I eat fast food very frequently, right? So we do a lot of these implicit studies that allow us to dig deeper into subconscious behavior and subconscious motivations. I get you.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like you're joking about it. I'll just admit it. I ordered some KFC and it's on the way here. So the break, because the KFC reach, and I'll be straight up with you. I don't give a damn about the rat. I know. Like, it's bad. It's terrible. We should clean it. Yeah, I'm not going to make any excuses for them. But I'm also not going to stop eating KFC. Yeah. And if you ask me if I'm health conscious, you eat fried foods? Not very much.
You're right.
Yeah. But I eat KFC. You okay?
No.
Big up KFC.
KFC is in a whole different category.
Completely.
Different category.
I ate KFC when I stopped eating meat. Did you? And bacon. Anyway, different podcast, different story.
It's like people that say they do eat pork but they eat ham at Christmas time or bacon. Bacon is important. Yeah. So I guess I'd say that our mission at BlueDot is to negate the need as much as possible for a lot of the traditional gut decisions that we make. We're accustomed to making gut decisions and decisions based on instinct as business owners, and just generally we are democratizing that, so to speak, by making it more affordable to make these data-driven decisions and just to be more conscious of insights and data.
So in other words, it's less, I feel this will sell, and more the data shows
data
that this product is actually selling. Yeah,
man, for sure.
It got a better feel for demand.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up some of your tweets for the latest survey, so people would hear this knowing of the survey that you saw, which I was excited about. I mean, I see things I capture on the face, saying things like, it go from weave to weed. Right?
Yeah, man.
And you actually showed an example of one of the insights, how you can capture some of the insights from it, because you're saying, I think one of the things that people across all classes said that they'd like
was the weave.
Yeah. Wow.
But that could have been the girlfriend's had requested that for Christmas.
That's straight customer demand, no matter what.
Yeah. It's interesting. One of the things that I love about being in this space is that we do so many surveys for so many companies and sectors that I literally have a pulse on the nation and what people are seeing in every single category. So we do surveys for fast food chains, alcohol, tobacco, banking and finance, and the amount of data that we get from that is extremely interesting to be able to see what people are thinking and what they how they act and that type of stuff. It's very interesting.
Of course, people hear data they want. Is there any? I know a lot of your data is on the NDA and it's for clients. But do you have data that is shareable? Other than the things you have shared, do you have like maybe let's say Blue Dot level data that everybody could access?
Yeah, and so one of the things that we're going to be doing this year, and the general public will see it, is one, just more of an awareness of the benefits of data. There's been a lot of fear mongering in the media around data and privacy, etc. So we're going to be, taking a position on that, and being very vocal about the fact that data is once used properly will benefit us tremendously as a nation and as a country on a whole.
I think just if I hazard an example, if we just know where most people work and live, that alone could help with the traffic management and knowing the right times to do the road work. Even though it might seem silly, someone might say, why would you do this Thursday at 3:30?
Like where you put the roads, how much traffic you want to funnel to, whatever. It just makes sense.
Exactly. What product is better to develop at what time? Right? Do I need to? Should I import more weave in October and November because I know December sales is coming? But people say, that's obvious. But something might be good when it's obvious to you after you hear it. Everybody can say it's obvious after they hear it. There's very few that can say it before, and you are able to pull that out.
Yeah, and we're doing a lot of those studies now. I can speak about it because it's public knowledge that is entering the island, and we did a study for them where we told them exactly where to put their stores based on geospatial analytics. So that is traffic data, so how many cars drive past these locations, what's the foot traffic, what is the crime in the area, what's the mean income in the area, the profile of the people in the areas, who drives past there, and a whole bunch of other data that we give them, and proximity to what they might be of interest in. So if they were interested in school children as clients, we can tell them how many schools are within a 5-mile radius, that type of stuff, that type of data we're giving to these companies who want to make better decisions.
And a lot of companies, I think right now, there's some marketing manager or some CEO realize that, it's not that I have to up the marketing budget, or maybe you should, don't listen to me, listen to your employees.
Put in the right place.
But maybe it's the same budget, but just targeted. You help people to move from the shotgun approach to the sniper approach. Targeted.
Exactly.
I like that. Information is key, so the point in managing information across the board. But that's a great idea. Another thing I saw earlier in 2019 you launched was your, what's it called? Your insight. I saw the insights. Quick
Communa.
Insights.
Communa. So we in North America and in Europe, etc., you don't have people going out with pen and paper or even tablets to collect data, right? Because you have these what they call panels, these online panels that have a pre-profiled database of respondents that they can just push surveys out to, right? So we launched the first one in the Caribbean. It's called BlueDot Communa. And what we've done is we've segmented and profiled every single member on the database. So for, if you, Randy, you wanted to target or to do a survey or to get feedback from women between the ages of 25 to 35 who don't drive, who have children.
No.
Well, who do drive, who don't have children,
Yes. And jobs,
have jobs, who drink, don't smoke, with pink toenails, we'd be able to segment the database and send a survey to that specific person. And you get the results.
5'3" to 5'6". But you get to chop it down and see what these people very quickly. And that's the thing, speed too. Right?
And it's speed. So what normally takes 6 to 8 weeks for a survey to be completed traditionally, we're doing that in hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So so our clients are getting dashboards, real-time dashboards. So from the minute the first survey comes in, they get a URL and they can see the results in real time. And that lends to a lot of transparency for us, which is very important. And I spend a little time talking about that.
Yeah, man, take it.
So there's a lot of bad press, or there's been a lot of negative PR around polling and pollsters and the whole research space on a whole, because some of our competitors, especially in the last couple election results, would have appeared to skew the data based on who was contracted, who contracted them. And truthfully, the only reason why we got into this political space is for that reason, which is because we were actually losing clients because they were like, well, this man came out and do this and we don't believe in research anymore. And we're actually losing clients because of that. So our foray into politics was spurred by that. And I'll say it, I don't like being in the space at all.
I can understand.
It's not something that I enjoy. I didn't want to do it. There's just too many variables, too many personalities, too many people that are too passionate about politics.
A vested result. Yeah.
But we're very good at what we do, and we entered into the political space because of that. So we're very transparent with how we go about doing the polls. So tomorrow when we go on nationwide, I'll be taking the time to explain how we went about collecting the data. We have, for example,
you can hear it because this is people are hearing this now after the fact.
Right. We have GPS information for every single result.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So if somebody was supposed to be in North Central St. Catherine and the GPS picks them up in Montego Bay or somewhere, then that is flagged, right? We randomly record audio from the survey. So, we've, just as an FYI, we've had instances where we've had bad interviewers who are schizophrenic, who would have changed their voice and responded as an as a respondent.
So that data wouldn't be good.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but you wouldn't know unless you check it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And there's a whole bunch of other quality controls that we put in place. So I'll be speaking a lot about that. And one of the things that we'll be doing throughout this election process is I'll be making the data available for anyone to review.
Word, open. I like that, because people don't like that. That's the one thing people, no side can pick. If it's open, this is how we did it. If you're right, you're right, you're wrong, but this is how we did it.
Yeah, and when we make the dashboard live, we can't change the results after, right? So even if the one party commissions me to do a study, that's my one mandate, that we have to make the results available in real time as much as possible. Maybe there might be some sensitive questions that we might hide, but it is important for us that the public trusts and believes in the method and the data that is being presented to them.
Yeah, I like that. Boy, Jamaica really changing. Trust me. Having for it is the model of, we no longer I'm not owning the data. I'm just owning how it was collected and delivered. The data is the data. Whether or not you like it. How was the reception been to that sort of thing so far?
It's been great. You know, our clients love it because we do the same thing for our corporate clients, right? They, you know, there's this famous marketing guy who asked this question back probably in the 50s, I think, you know, like, what business are you really in? And one of our clients actually said to me, you know, that, you know, Larren, you know, what you guys provide me is confidence, and, you know, confidence that the decisions that I make are accurate and data driven. You know, and so that's the business that we're actually in. We're in the business of confidence, you know.
There's a strong thing that
the
old adage that them say 50% of your marketing budget is wasted. The problem is knowing which 50%. So Blue Dot has you know where your best bet is and which 50 is the best bet. I like that. And of course, corporate clients like we and I speak as if I'm a corporate client who would have less of a vested interest in a certain result. We want to hear this is good, but we also want to hear if it's bad to fix it. And we don't want to trash the guy who brought it just because I don't like what he said. You don't shoot the messenger in this case. I really like, however, though, I don't know if it can be said, I remember you did do a bit. Your foray was during the
East Portland by-election.
Yes. Yeah. You
So
know that one, right?
Yeah. So we
boss, man. How many people get it wrong?
Yeah, man. So we got that right, and we're actually the most accurate in terms of the margin. But what was what was even more important to note from that was that we use neuroscience to do that prediction. So we didn't do the traditional polling. The results that are going on Nationwide tomorrow were done traditionally. What we did with the neuroscience is we did what was called an implicit reaction timing test, right? How it works, if you follow me, is what we want to do is measure subconscious associations and what your subconscious biases are. As an example, when I was 8 years old, Pepsi gave me a yo-yo. Because of that, I'm forever loyal to Pepsi. When you do these traditional types of studies, you never know what those biases are. And they creep into the study and it can skew it, right? So what we did in East Portland was called an implicit reaction timing test. How it works, as an example, is if I said, you know, Danai to slap my right hand as quickly as possible, if I said Coca-Cola is sweet. If subconsciously you think that Coca-Cola is sweet, you're going to hit my right hand really quickly. But if you have to think about it, there's going to be a delay. So we measure down to the microsecond or the millisecond what your reaction is
at your
core implicitly. And based on that, we know if you have a subconscious leaning to that attribute.
Wow.
And that's what we did in East Portland.
Wow.
So
it worked. You got it right.
Yeah, because as you can imagine, in the 2016 general elections in the US, only about 2% of the polls actually got it right. Because it was so polarizing and people were afraid to say who they're going to vote for. Right?
Nobody wants to support the bad guy, but he got those votes, right? The bad guy in captions.
Right.
Bad guy.
Right. Exactly. So and that's why we use that IPT test, right? And it was very interesting. You know, we were in East Portland for a couple of days, and you know, we really proved that this methodology worked because you have the staunch, what we call tetes, right? Who were explicitly stating disdain, say for Anne-Marie Valls or Damian Crawford. But when we checked what their subconscious was saying, it was the complete opposite.
And that margin thing is major. You got it, because that was a very close election.
It was close.
That's a very close election. For you to get that and have the closest margin is
precision.
It's precision. It's good. So who will win the next election?
I'll tell you in a couple months. We're actually, our data team actually are running models as we speak, based on historical data and some other data that we plugged into a model that we built that will help us to predict.
That's fine. Well, then big up your team, because I know you had a good team. I don't know. Tell us who your team is.
Yeah, so we were at around 10 employees now. We have, excluding myself, so we have, like I said, we have data scientists, data analysts, we have statisticians, actuarial scientists, we have an anthropologist on the team now because we're going a little deeper.
Word.
We have a consultant behavioral psychologist who helps us to again dig deeper into psyche and do psychographic profiling, because traditionally when you say to a marketer or marketing manager, your core customer is 25 years old or 25 to 35 years old, male, and some other demographics. You and I are completely different, even though we're in the same age group, right?
Yeah.
And marketing has to shift to where you're targeting the individual and their individual preferences, and that is what we're doing. I don't want to say Cambridge Analytica. That's a bad word, but where we can target ethically.
Yeah, so you don't have to do it unethically.
Yeah.
The side of Cambridge Analytica, where I don't know, again, the side of the deep research game, where you are able, you don't have to use the powers for evil, pretty much. Yeah,
exactly.
You can use them for good, and there's a lot of good out there, and Jamaica is right for us to step up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like that. I like that. But I want you to show to the team what I was hoping. I had a friend, I didn't know she worked here. But I don't know if she still got consults with you here, Chev.
Oh yeah, Shav. Yeah, Shav is our acting CIO, Chief Insights Officer at the moment. Extremely bright. Sharp. Yeah.
Sharp. Big up Chev.
Yeah.
I can't ever tell if we're vexed or not vexed, but big up Chev nonetheless.
Yeah, man. Your the success of your company heavily depends on the team that you have.
Yes.
Heavily.
Yes.
It's heavily dependent on that, and we have a good team. And I'm very grateful for that. Of course we have our moments, but
everybody has their moments. It's not worth it without the moments, but the team is, at the end of the day, is what the team produces.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the feedback has been good. The results, some of the people have seen have been good. I know you've done this new survey. We can talk about that. This new survey. Is there a specific reason you did it, or it's just one?
It's a snapshot that I want to do every 3 months.
Quarterly survey.
Every quarterly survey.
Start come on every quarter and tell us because we're always interested. You had some good stuff in there about, oh God, I mean, then I was looking at it now, but I remember seeing stuff from banking, money, just generally. I remember the 40K question, because I remember you had said you were asking the questions.
Yes. Right, so a lot of those questions came from Twitter. Yes. I had asked you guys what you wanted to find out.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the questions came from Twitter. And there's more that I'll share over the week. I just didn't want to overwhelm.
Yeah, I understand.
Everybody. But yeah, that's part of a snapshot. But it's one is to give people information. Like Jamaica and the Caribbean on a whole, we have a chronic lack of access to data. Chronic lack of access to data, and we believe that access to data will be one of the most influential drivers of the economy. If companies can make better decisions, they have better performance. That's just point blank. End of the day, if you
companies,
can't,
governance, just people, everybody in general.
Yeah. The scale of something like this.
The
scale of something like this is great.
Right. Yeah.
A couple ideas of what I think BlueDot can become.
Yeah.
Or where it can go.
Right. Yeah.
Huge. I don't think, having done stuff in the marketing field, it's almost accepted that. You used to get accepted back in the day. You could say something about Jamaica. You're doing the product, right? And you could base it on US. In the US, a study from 2015 said that young people
It's still being done.
All the time, because it's all you have. So you Google it and whatever you work with.
Yeah.
But we might not be anything at all like that.
We're absolutely nothing like that.
Literally nothing.
We've proven that several times.
But it's what we've been working with, and the old data has to change.
Everybody knows that different demographic, different mindset in the people, but then we go back to that.
It's all that was available. So you put in this stuff online? Meaning, how do you do it through your Twitter stream? And guys, you should follow. I try. How much you follow reach now? I try to push it. Like a boost.
I'm at Twitter new, man. I'm at about 500 now, I think. I don't know.
Almost 550, 543. Guys, if you're listening, say don't follow him at Manish Water. Yo, tell people what that means. Manish, well, you see it in the show notes, but it's Manish, MANNISH WAATA.
I just really like goated soup. That's it. There's nothing behind this.
Oh, but I mean, that's good. It's like you grab that name early. That's good. Yeah. And you know what? You never call yourself at CEO of Blue Dot. I really like that. We're not doing that anymore. You have a personality there. Yeah. But Twitter, how you liking Twitter so far?
It's interesting. I'm primarily introverted or innately introverted. So Twitter forces you to be expressive.
Yeah, I learned that hardly.
Yeah, it forces you to be expressive. So it's very hard. Like it takes me minutes to compose a tweet. Yeah. And then you have to worry about...
And then 10 more minutes to worry about that.
And then worry about, boy, is there going to be backlash from this? And
And you know, the funny thing is you never know what the backlash is, right?
Yeah.
Because
somebody will take the wrong way and it's wrong.
You I'm talking about his pen.
Yeah.
And somebody else says, so you don't care about the children.
Right.
What? Which I just want is a pen. No, I'm sorry it's also not enough online anymore. No. You should have never done it.
Yeah.
First step of Twitter is be perfect.
Yeah. Oh man, Twitter's stressful, man.
It is, but also you see the benefit.
I have seen it. It's a tool. It's a.
Do you guys mind it? Do you guys mind it?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Pay attention to what's said, what's spoken.
Yeah, we do that for clients. So we're on the social media analytics, social media listening.
Oh, that's strong.
We do one of the cool things that we do with social media listening is we can geofence locations. So. We tested it at Champs last year where we geofenced the stadium and we're able to read messages that came out of the stadium and gauge the sentiment just from that geographic space.
Never think about that.
Obviously from publicly available profiles. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But even that is enough because like Blue Dot is able to look at Champs in a way that nobody else can look at and tell things. You know, if the KC people them really great the barman them happy or
just from the corporate client side, or what are people talking about? Are they talking about the Grace Kennedy bunting and the mascot or whatever he is from on, which performer they like the best, that type
major insights. People you have do not miss this opportunity. Listen to it and you're wondering if you need to talk to Blue Dot right now. Yo, give them a call.
Answer is already yes.
You know what?
You're not really wondering.
The answer is yes. Call them before your competitor does. Yeah. That's what I tell you.
Right. Yeah. No man, we're doing. We're really doing some really really cool things at Blue Dot. We're going into the AI space now.
What are you doing there?
One of the products that we're launching next week, we're calling it BlueDot Shelfie. So traditionally, when our clients in the distribution space who distribute products, who have merchandisers, etc., they go out and they physically record how many items are on a shelf, etc., etc. We've just finished developing a solution that they just need to take one picture of the shelf, and the AI uses image recognition to capture every single item that's on the shelf. So we can tell how many corned beef from which company, which SKU, what's the price, etc. And then we give our clients a distribution map, what they call planogram compliance, which is the competitor taking up more facings or product lines on the shelf than you are, and are you compliant with the trade design? So
the merchandise is actually
strong for retail.
Yeah.
The serious for retail, right? No, tell the people what you're thinking, sir.
Yeah, thinking about Fontana. So they launched a new location.
Right.
Heavy retail. So I think brands can really gauge the take-up there, and Fontana himself can really gauge the take-up relative to whoever else is competition in the area.
Dana and I went through it together. We just did a walk through the store. And one of the very first things we noticed, because I always think the same in terms of data, you notice you enter through swing gates, and I immediately said I wanted to have counters in there to count how many people are coming in. And you're just that sort of thing, thinking it's where we're going in the future.
Right.
In 5 years, if you're not doing this, you're probably out of business.
And we're just trying to be ahead of the curve.
That's all.
That's what I advocate for.
Always ahead of the curve. Find out what's happening before it happens and plan for it.
Blue Dot is specifically placed it's really good for investors. So if you're looking at the stock market and you want to make decisions on stocks, then I think Blue Dot what they can gather for investors.
Yeah.
Just give me a snapshot of what's happening so I can make a decision before information is
For sure.
in certain ways.
For sure.
So, Bloomberg, something like that coming from BlueDot would be very strong for us.
Yeah. So like what our challenge now is just resources. Like there's a lot of studies that I want to do. So I mentioned on Twitter that I really want to do a study on bad mind. And we are going to do it. I've gathering the social scientists now to do it. But yeah, we're going to do a study on bad mind and and the effects that bad mind has on the economy, on productivity.
Oh my God.
But it's just defining, like what is bad mind, and so, but yeah, there's many things that we can do. We have so much opportunity now to just make data more accessible and to allow anybody to make better decisions with data, and that's really what our mission is.
I don't want people laugh at the bad minds. They might think they're joking. Let me say it differently. We always downplay things when they come from Jamaica. Because if you can read a scientific journal about a study done to show localized effect of envy between people in Scotland, and you'd say, oh, this is interesting. And they come Jamaica and tell you about it. But in Jamaica, we say bad man and you laugh at them. It's the same thing because we're human beings, so it's there.
Yeah.
And it definitely affects people. And it has an effect on what you actually do. You're maybe a bad man in your neighbor, you have to buy a new car because they buy a new car. How many people show that trait?
Yeah, so that's one of the things we're actually trying to figure out. So there's no real word in the English language for bad mind, right? There's no one word. But you have jealousy, envy, grudge, right? What we've defined so far is bad mind has an active component to it. So
bad mind is active. That's a fact.
Yeah. So it's not bad mind until you act on it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just grudge or envy or jealousy. Yeah, but anyways, that's just like one thing that we want to do. What's the effect of the road work on productivity? That type of stuff is important.
That's how that thing.
Yeah. But there's and we learned something again the other day around music where we're using our EEG devices that measure brain activity to find a hit song. So we're measuring your brain's response to the music from that, and we've gotten some very interesting data from that so far. Like I think we'll eventually be able to create a formula for what makes a hit song based on brain activity that we've studied. Again, using neuroscience.
Wow.
Imagine an artist want a boss and say, I need to do that.
Yeah, man. We'll set the formula. So if it isn't stimulating your brain at this level, based on the index that we create, then it's not going to be a hit song. And we have some good data on that so far.
Yes. You guys did something on brick on brick on my team. This year,
You're in a good way, sir.
Just the chorus. Just the chorus.
The theme. The general theme.
Yeah, just the general theme. I can't go on the BlueDot road. But I like that you're showing very quickly to real people a real effect of what you can get from data.
Yeah, like I said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Like one of the things we really want to get into is health, is helping the health sector with the data that they have. When I was at AIS, so AIS processes over 100,000 health insurance claims every day, right?
Okay.
And I've been telling the story of late that when I realized the power of data was when I'd be in the server room at the company and I'd be seeing flu medications being dispensed frequently, let's say in Ocheros, right? And I would know based on historical data to call my dad and say, Pops, stock up on vitamin C and start taking some flu meds, because I knew that the flu was going to get to Mobe in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And for sure, 2 weeks or less guaranteed, it would start to happen, right? And that's the first time I realized that, this data thing is strong. Yeah. He never listened to me and he'd end up catching the flu, of course. But
where were you when chickpea was going wrong? People could avoid that.
I told this was
chickpea.
Yeah.
Guys, so we had a small break there. So as usual, we are human beings. So I think the KFC actually reached, I'll be honest. And I interrupted that story just now that Larren and Danai were having. So they're talking about just opportunities locally with the local market in terms of stocks, because it's still a finance podcast, and the opportunities that can happen. So I mean, Larren, tell your story, and then if we need more context, I'll trade.
No, I was just saying, it's not stock related, but the other day I was driving to Ocherius, and I got a speeding ticket, and I was thinking to myself that the in terms of resources, the police don't need to be on the toll road, because they know the time that you enter the toll booth.
That's correct.
And they know when you exit the toll booth.
That's correct.
If you get to the next toll booth in a time shorter than you're supposed to get there, then they send you a ticket.
Average speed.
You know what the average speed, right?
Yeah.
So just send you a ticket in your mail, and that those police resources could be put elsewhere.
That is
I don't want them to do that, of course, because
then they definitely get a holy
but it's just simple. Like, there's so much data in Jamaica right now. So many government agencies have data that they're just not utilizing. That could bring about so much more efficiencies in the public sector.
To touch on that question I asked at the jump,
Yeah.
we had said, like, if you know what the average salary is.
Yeah.
So we don't know, right?
Right.
But we know X amount of Jamaicans pay PAYE. And you're paying the taxes.
Exactly.
The government must know how much you're paying taxes on. But nobody has just
you just
put
need
that in Excel
to
and
reverse
average.
calculate the percentage.
Lord. Yeah, so whenever we get that kind of data, I'm ready for it. On the finance side, though, looking on the same study stuff, I remember you had stuff in there saying there was like 1% said that most Jamaicans wouldn't be able to find
40,000.
in the event of an emergency.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is not even enough for if you have a serious medical emergency that can't do anything.
Jeez. No.
That's 2 x-rays.
Yeah. I tell the story. When I was young, I used to have asthma attacks, right? Up to maybe my early 20s. And I remember going to, I won't say the name of the hospital, it's a popular hospital in Kingston, going there late one night and I feel like I'm going to die. And I never forget, I sit down and the guy actually sit down in a wheelchair, and they wheeled me around, and the doctor saw me, and I was like, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, I'm ready, good." So the guy turned back, wheels me down the hall, wheels me to the left into the billing section.
Yeah, man.
As if I have insurance and let me pay, and then they treated me.
Yeah.
Imagine if you never have the money to get paid. I had to pay before.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. One of my closest friends died from an asthma attack.
Yeah. I mean, I joke
It's
about
a serious thing.
Moment,
I can imagine.
I didn't want to vex, but I couldn't even vex.
Yeah.
I thought he carried me to the treatment room.
Yeah.
Right to the billing.
No. Should have put nebulizer first and then sort that out. Yeah.
Oh, you know. Yeah. You can see, maybe you don't have the money.
Yeah.
They said I can get nebulized early if I'd shown that I had insurance, so they know them covered.
Wow.
I was like, wow. So if I leave my wallet, you get joke.
Yeah, that John Q moment.
No. Right. But yeah, it's awesome seeing where data can hit, and it's awesome noticing the change in things. You had mentioned there's another point in the survey about banking.
Yeah.
That you're saying disruption. It's time for some disruption. I know the industry across the board is being disrupted now. What was the actual question? I don't want to quote it wrong.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? No, that's fine. It's a whole heap of questions to ask. Then I look at it right now, I'm sure.
That question again came from Twitter. Somebody had asked me to find out. It was very specific to the services. So online, non-traditional bank that doesn't have a brick and mortar presence, something like that. Would that be?
Yeah. The question was, would you consider banking with an exclusive online bank as your primary bank, no physical address or offices, if it meant getting lower fees and better offerings than traditional banks? And the results, only 27% said no. It would depend on other factors such as, and that's only 10%, and 62% said yes.
Immediately,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, good. Guys, again, another break. Sorry, KFC. Sorry. Big up KFC, Jamaica. I'm not sure.
No, we just mentioned the results from a company.
Oh yeah, about the banking results.
Oh yes, the innovation.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. So people really want to have the innovation done. Then just in case you want to just repeat that question, repeat exactly what the question was and the results. And it was speaking
exactly. The question was, would you consider banking with an exclusively online bank as your primary bank, no physical address or offices, if it meant getting lower fees and better offerings than traditional banks? No was 27%. It would depend on other factors was 10%, and 62% said yes.
That's major. Yeah, major.
The moment somebody do that, I'm stealing.
More than 6 out of 10 people want.
Yeah, I have your customer base
banking experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The first person to offer it is going to eat.
But it's funny because a lot of the bad banking experience is backed down by the fact everybody has bad banking experience. No matter which bank I'm at, I have a bad experience.
Yeah.
So where do I turn?
One no is I think all the banks know it. I think all the banks are trying to fix that experience.
Oh, definitely.
Very quickly.
It's the tech push that they're doing. Everybody trying to fix it, but still have problems.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Going back to the experience, Larren, I know you said at the start, earlier at the start, I was saying everybody talks about the good part of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you the good part of the end so we can make nice it up. Tell some of the rough parts, tell some of the bad parts, tell some of the harsh parts.
Well, for one, I'm not in a traditional space, right? And so we just turned 5 a couple of weeks ago, and the first couple years,
5 years.
Yeah, so we had 5. Thanks.
Yeah.
So we just turned 5, but a lot of our clients still don't understand the value of data, right?
Yeah. True.
And the purpose of it. They know they have it, but one, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know the value of it. They don't know the insights that you can get from it, right? And it's hard to sell it now, but it was much harder in the first couple of years, as you can imagine. Yeah. But luckily for us now, we have companies that are sending their staff to conferences overseas, and they're hearing about it. You have managers now who would have gone to school and been exposed or have worked overseas and know how to what the usefulness of a dashboard in Tableau or Power BI, that type of stuff. So initially it was a hard sell. In 2016 or 17, I think we got the award from the DBJ for top exporter because we were collecting most of our revenue outside of Jamaica.
Oh, that's major. That's major. You're selling a service while being here.
Yeah, right.
That's the future.
Yeah.
That's major.
Yeah, but now that has switched. So at the time, around 60 to 70% of revenue was coming from overseas clients. Now it's flipped, luckily.
Well, that's good for the local clients.
Yes.
Always stuck in what I can or can't say, but as Larren would know, especially the companies that are here that have an overseas presence or from multinationals that are here, they know exactly the power of the data and they move quickly.
Yeah, and you can't compete with for example, a Nestle or a Kraft if you're not using the data.
Correct. You have to be on the data and they know the importance of it. Yeah.
But just general challenges, like grit is so important as an entrepreneur, and being able to just take the punches and move on and just don't quit. Just don't be a quitter.
Push through. I understand that. I remember seeing a tweet from you. So, was that either Twitter or IG? Something where you're just saying that you're happy to be in a space now where you don't have to worry about payroll.
Right.
Yeah, I know about that feeling where it's
yeah, no, man. Every month when you make payroll is a blessing. Trust me. And what happened to us is that cash flow is such a big problem for us because all of our clients are corporate. And some of these corporate clients who have 60 to 90 day payment terms.
Yeah.
So we'll be waiting for cash for 60 to 90 days.
2-3 months.
But you still
after the work and you have to pay.
But you still have staff to pay and whatnot. I mean, we've corrected that situation now with Communa, where we have quick turnaround cash flow, which is one of the reasons why we implemented Communa. But yeah, man, I mean, you don't know stress until you have to worry. You have to start in your head formulating what you're going to tell your employees, who have mortgages to pay and whatnot. In the early days, I'd put it on IG as well. I've sold things, pawned my car, done everything just to meet payroll.
Imagine that. Imagine you pawn your car.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we talk about it all the time. Nobody knows how lonely that job of CEO is. Man. You see a man come in 11 o'clock, you need not work, but then from 8:30, you have no idea. You don't get to go home as CEO. You are there always in your mind.
Yeah, and the worst part about it, I think, for me, is that you can't really complain. Because you chose this. You know? You chose this. Is you chose this, and who you going to complain to? Yeah,
I've been having that conversation with myself recently. Like,
nobody cares.
That is
nobody cares.
Perfect. Everybody has their own trouble. Nobody gives a damn.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But on the flip side, I've been having these little like gratitude moments, right? Like I'd walk into my office and I see we have conference room tables and chairs and TVs on the wall and like staff and people here working, and you know I'm grateful that I have this, you know, that I can contribute to these people's livelihood, and you know, and I'm grateful for that. And then, you know, like the other day I was in the kitchen, in our little kitchen at the office, and mixing a cup of Milo. And I remember I also had a moment there, like I probably shed some tears, I think, because I remember at my previous job when I was at AIS, the office attendant reported me to the financial controller because I was having like 8 cups of Milo a day just out of just brokenness.
Mash up the budget.
Right. Oh, you know? I'm hungry. But it was, them used to call me Fosca. I always had a box of Fosca oats in the drawer.
Oh, yeah, but then, you guys set up on the podcast. You know? Money short, Fosca oats.
But you know, like, and then you just have these moments of gratitude that just make it like bring things full circle. And you just like appreciate.
I don't know.
I like that. It's not even say make it. It's just say
it's just the little things like and I just enjoying the moments. You get a contract, you get an email from a client that said, "Yo, Larren, you know, or thank you to the Blue Dot team. You know, you really helped us to pull this through." Like just things like that. That's, you know.
Yeah. No, but I'm proud. For the sidelines, I'm proud. I know there's a whole heap more coming. I'm proud to see. That's good. Yeah, I should tell people, just in case we sound different, we're actually recording this at the Blue Dot offices. So major, if it's somebody's my fault, sorry. But Larren give us the one moment he had on the weekend. I say, we can't miss it. So if it's somebody's my fault, I'm sorry, guys. I'm playing I'm playing audio tech today. I hope it sounds good though, Larren, and I'm really happy to hear it. That's the bad stuff. Tell us some of the good stuff. Although the bad stuff led into the good stuff.
No, the good stuff is the impact that we're making. All right. We really have made an impact for in corporate Jamaica. And like I realize every day I wear my Blue Dot shirt that I'm branded, that we've really built a very good brand. A lot of people don't even know what we do, but they just feel like we're doing something cool, and then we like just big me up and stuff. So that's gratifying as well. You know, like built a really, really good brand. But we've been making an impact. A lot of campaigns that you would have seen out, we would have tested. There's a lot of, you know, I walk down the supermarket aisle and I see products that we've helped to develop through our eye tracking. So we have eye tracking technology that we use for clients who are product testing or when they're changing the labels, where we can tell which label has the highest of what we call findability and seeability on a shelf. So we literally can walk down a supermarket aisle or in any space and tell what people are looking at, what they're seeing, what they're not seeing, etc.
Where they look first.
That sort of thing.
Think about it in a wholesale. One of the things that back in my old corporate days, I know one of the biggest problems is that was Jamaican wholesales are crowded just by default. But if you think from a marketing perspective, there's 17 posters on the wall. 16 of them are your competitors. All of them sell biscuit and you sell biscuit too. What the hell are you going to put on your poster? Where are you going to put your poster so that somebody sees it first?
Exactly.
Major thing.
Exactly. You know, and we did some work with a fast food chain the other day that we told them where to put their higher margin menu items based on where people were looking at. So if the number 8, as an example, has the highest margin, but people are looking where the number 1 is, then you need to put the number 8 where the number 1 is.
Increase the pull. Yeah, it sounds simple enough, but so much. So I mean, you're allowed to say which chain?
No.
Okay.
But you know, things like that, I see the impact, and I'm sure soon they'll tell me that their sales increased. And the company does better. They hire more people, they open more branches, and that's, you know.
And it's not all just airy fairy.
No.
Yeah, because you do. I don't even think you saw Communa well a while ago. Because Communa allows me or anybody listening
Right.
to get on.
Oh yeah. So I should. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So Communa is again the first online panel in the Caribbean. But why we did it? So 97% of the registered SMEs in Jamaica or the registered companies in Jamaica, are SMEs. Now, research is only done by the large corporates because it's generally expensive. The average research projects cost anywhere between $1.5 million to $4 million, which leaves out the mom and pop shops, the little shops that still need to make decisions but are relying on gut.
Yeah.
So we've brought the cost of research down through Communa to $100,000.
Word.
Yeah. So
Wow.
right. So our target.
If I have a competitor, the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So our target.
Jamaican.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, I know it must be. Wow.
I mean, and of course, there's scales and
Yes,
rates
yeah,
for that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But if you wanted to find out, as an example, which logo people like, which is an important decision, send it to us. We send it out. You get the results in minutes. And you make a data-driven decision, and it's not based on gut. You typically send it out in a WhatsApp group with your family and say, which logo you like?
If you want to hear bias, you must say, "Mommy love everything you say."
Exactly. So Communa is extremely important in that regard. So we want to target the SMEs with that, and all of this is about a cultural change that we're trying to make, which is why I'm going out on Twitter now and sharing the data and whatnot, and making the data more accessible, because I want Jamaica culturally to understand the value of data and shift our whole thinking and our psyche to being more data driven in our decision making.
Completely. I agree with you. We have, Larren touched on it earlier. In corporate, as you said, it's gut, and everybody don't say it. The truth is, I need to be careful in what I say. The truth is, oftentimes people often think that the data is there. Here's a common thing we say. You can make the data say anything you want. That's like telling me that I can paint a picture using, I can use my colors and paint any picture I want. And that's true.
Yeah.
But if the question is, show me an accurate representation of that bottle, I can also use these colors and show an accurate representation of the bottle, right? Just because you can do something bad with the data doesn't mean you should throw data out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think we're moving away from a space where we used to ask the data to say what we would like to hear, to know a space where let us see what the data says and then move from it. Yeah. And there's still people saying, boy, you can't take anything you want from that. And I think those people either have to shift quickly or
disrupted
will be shifted
quickly.
out of business quickly. Yes,
They're going to get disrupted very quickly.
There's no question about it. This show is a good example of that. Yeah, we get radio numbers of something that we do just on our own. Yeah, and I saw the thing, but I was moving off gut, right? I stopped moving off gut and started doing. Put something out there first and try to get it never work. But if you have Communa that do it, 100 grand, you can find it. You can find it. Yeah, but also on the flip side of Communa, it benefits me if I'm a survey respondent.
Oh yeah, sorry, right. So and then there's an earning opportunity. So we've paid out, since our launch a couple months ago, almost $2 million to the survey takers.
Oh, word. So just by completing the survey.
Just by completing the survey,
iPhone.
you get paid.
How I sign up for that?
Communa.BlueDotInsights.com.
Again, just one more time.
So you can go straight to BlueDotCommuna.com. So BlueDotComuna, Communa.com, or Communa.BlueDotInsights.com, and just sign up. And then you'll get surveys, you fill them out, be honest with your answers, and you get paid.
Boom. And you know what, guys? I mean, it's in the show notes. I'll put the link in the show notes for you to hear. When you say get paid, people want to know if them really get paid. What them get paid? Credit? What them get paid?
No. So it's a point system. You get the points, and then you can redeem the points at your choosing. After 1,200 points, you can let them pile up. I see people have 10,000 points now. Like them probably birthday coming up, they'll probably redeem it at that point. And we do a bank transfer. You get the cash in your account.
Straight to my bank account.
Straight to your bank account.
For answering text on my phone.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody not text me no money.
The thing is, you give your opinion every day for free on Twitter and Instagram. Why not get paid for it?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
BlueDotCommuna.com.
Yeah.
Go there right now, guys. And like I said, follow Larren on Twitter. The can CEO of less than 1,000. Up him numbers quick and fast. I'm sure your numbers up by the time you hear this. BlueDotCommuna.com. I do have to convince business people. This is dangerous. I said to business people, that's the same thing I always tell business people. I don't try to threaten nobody. I don't try to push nobody. I say, listen, do it before your competitor do it. And the competitors are working. I know so Larren local. Every day the man fly. Walk on overseas. Anything you can talk about overseas. I know you spend some time in the Central and South America.
Well, that was related to the polling, because we're the only company that used neuroscience to predict an election ever.
In the region?
Ever. No.
Oh, in the world?
In the world.
Brethren, leave the podcast with those things. Start with that. That's a big deal, bro. You are the only one using it for election polling in the world.
Unless I'm not Googling right. But
no, I'm good. I'm trusting you. I'm going with my gut on this.
So we went to Colombia. I went to speak at a conference there. And right now we have literally every Caribbean island, a couple Latin American, Central American governments, opposition parties who have asked us to come in.
Wow. I won't ask you to name names, I understand but I'm happy to hear that it's happening and they're flying you out, But they're flying the profits back in.
A Jamaican company. It's the first to do this, and we're selling this to the world. Strong money that.
Yeah. You imagine if you wasted time, I finish a degree. I myself that all the time.
I do the same thing.
I often wonder what I'd be. I'd probably just be at work and unhappy. I know that I'm happy I made a plunge. I don't tell nobody to quit their job. People stay in your work if you think it's the right thing for you.
Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and like I said, we tend to glamorize it too much and make it look like some higher calling and blah blah blah. It's not. You really have to be crazy and
work hard and go. You just in the face of brother. I'm learning. You wouldn't believe it.
I just recently muted email notifications on my phone because I was literally getting anxiety or panic attacks.
That's a real thing.
Whenever I hear the sound, because I just don't know what it is,
and it interrupts everything, and it's designed to interrupt everything. So it's kind of like you're setting yourself up for a bad time.
So it doesn't blink, it doesn't make a sound.
It should respond when I touch it. Literally, I'm just saying, there's someone when you get dangerous now. Also, 5 years in business is not a light thing. How you go? According to the US surveys, most businesses fail
within the first 3 years.
You got more than half over that.
Beat it, man. Beat it.
We're here. So next thing, so tell the people they want to know when you're listening on the stock exchange.
So here's the thing. Of course, listing, like any entrepreneur wants to have some sort of exit. You start a company. You do well, you get some traction, then you get funding, which we got. So we got some funding. And then the next thing is you have some sort of exit by either IPO or somebody buys you out. So that's always on the horizon for us. But what I've found though is that hunting the next investment or hunting an IPO takes up a lot of your time and a lot of your focus.
Heavily. It's a different world.
It's a different world, and I don't want to get bogged down with that right now. What I will say though is that we are, because I want to grow the company to a certain amount. I think if all goes well, we'll probably hit. I'm gunning for over 200 million in revenue this year. Right.
Wow.
Nice. And I think we can get there, with everything that's happening. So at that point in time, I'll make a decision, and if that's right for us, then we'll do it. But in the meantime, though, we've put in everything in place to do it. So the corporate governance is we're looking at that now. Our tax compliance is being sorted out, or how we deal with the tax situation. Everything, systems, processes are being put in place now in anticipation for that.
That's the one you said. Tax.
Okay.
I'll just cut that. Yeah, that's fine. You're handling business.
You're handling business. So but you do tend to get too focused on that and not growing the business. I want to grow the business, grow the revenue, make sure the clients are happy, focus on the clients, number one, make sure the staff happy, and then we can see what happens.
I like that.
Focus on
no rush. I like it. No, I want to buy it. So when you're listing, sir, that's what I want. It's such a trick question. When I ask people that, you know you want to hear it, right?
Yeah.
But you also, it's so funny, I don't really want them to be heavy on it, because the best listings, I believe, are listings that don't need to.
Yeah.
When you act from a position of want.
You look at them, why? You look at the company, so why they listing? Like, you don't need to give me this company, to be honest.
Yeah. And that is the most secure place to list from. Yeah. So I'm happy about the journey that's happening. And you're sharing the good and the bad. That's the reality of it. It's not all IG and quotes.
I make it a point. Well, on my IG, well, now I'm on Twitter now, so I'll do it there. But I share the bad on IG as much as I can without making it look like we're running a party shop and, you know, making people feel that I'm depressed or something.
People always go for that. They go for careful with that on Twitter. It's better you share too much. There's no need. Careful with that on Twitter.
Well, you know, law number 1 in the 48 laws of power is always say less than necessary. So
100% agreement. 100%
right.
agreement.
But the IPO, hopefully, if it does happen early next year.
Word.
Yeah. If I hit my targets, if the client's happy, the staff happy,
you'll start looking at it.
We'll start looking at it. And you know, if we can, you know, of course, guarantee shareholder value. You know, within a couple months, we will start to aggressively seek our Caribbean expansion.
I like that. So you're not staying just local, you're going overseas again right after that.
Right. We're already doing work in the Caribbean, we just don't have presence, you know, so there's physical presence. Yeah, we have a partnership in Barbados that, you know, they resell our services there. But yeah, it's right now I'm extremely optimistic for what our potential is going forward, and
so I think people are going to start hitting, so they want to buy the money coming in. The man head on him shoulders, you know what I'm doing. Alright, what you want to leave the people, like, tell them something. Because you tell them the good stuff. I like that you're going to tell them the reality of, you know, and I am going to try and sort out some future episodes for yourself, because if you're pushing this thing every quarter in terms of your data,
I want to hear.
Man, come in, you have a seat every quarter. Come tell us what you found this 3 months about the Jamaican Republic. As long as you try to put some more money in there, people will say, people, you want to be one of those people who can't find 40 grand in the event of an emergency.
Because we'll be tracking it, right? So, you know, every quarter, things change. Hopefully, you know, we will see some change in the perceptions of people and what the reality is, and then we'll be able to make some comparisons and draw some correlations at the end of the year.
All right. Well, is there anything you can tell us that it's not even ahead of time? Because people hearing this after they've heard you on your interview nationwide. So anything you can say, or you still want to hold it?
No, it will come out on nationwide. But
this is nationwide, sir.
I know.
I'm gonna get the thing. So is there anything you can tell me that I can say then, or if you want to hold it, I don't want to press you, because I'm not.
So they will hear it. I mean, it's going to be an interesting election year, right? The JLP, they are in a good position from a national perspective generally. Okay. But the PNP can, as long as they get the shit together, they can make ground, because there's still you know, that economy question about if they feel the same, if their situation has improved in the past year.
I saw that. Big Black Barry on Twitter saying that it looks good, but that can be dangerous, because people need to be able to obviously say that they feel better.
We're in a bubble in Kingston. Here in our little circle, or like a Twitter universe, or midtown to uptown. We're not Jamaica. Facts. When you go out into the streets and go into the communities, their reality is completely different from ours. You know, so because we're, you know, making some money off of stocks and all your friends doing the same thing, you're in a bubble. In the bubble of your close,
you're 100%,
immediate.
100%.
So what is our reality is not the reality of Jamaica.
You investing, we know. There might be, I think the JC said openly that they have about roughly 200,000 active accounts. 200,000 accounts. I don't think the 200,000 are active. And we're 2.8 million.
Exactly.
So you get me.
Still less than 10%.
Still a bubble. And not as a bad thing, because thankfully people are growing the bubble and we're happy about that. But still, you have to know that what your reality is not everybody's reality is, and what my reality is not everybody's reality. So I like that. I like that. So Larren, every 3 months, please.
Yeah,
People,
man.
if you don't hear him in 3 months, at him on Twitter and
yeah.
man, go out and ask him.
Yeah, man, ask me what I'm going.
Yeah, I like that. Really, really good. I'm not gonna make it go too long. I really like this. We usually people long episodes. It's a nice shorter episode. Larren, thank you so very much.
Thanks for the opportunity.
No props. So this has
Thanks for the opportunity, sir.
Well, I know we almost leave. I never asked in the hard
Oh,
questions.
yes,
sir. We'll call it the earnings season gauntlet.
Okay.
Everybody has to tell us
One stock.
one stock
One
they pick
company.
for 1 year.
1 year.
For you, I'll tell you can't say SSLV. So.
Yep.
So I would one stock I'd go with 2.
Yeah, what? Oh, straight up, let's go.
So definitely the lab.
Lab, big up Kimala.
And definitely I create because what they're doing is training the future workforce.
Yeah, man, big up Tyrone.
Yeah, so big up Tyrone. So definitely I create, definitely the lab.
Yeah. You know, I own that company. I own a piece of that company. I create. So both. Yeah. So I want to meet both those companies. But I'm really excited about the lab. I'm really excited about what Tyrone can do because I like to see that fight. I like to see what I'm coming with.
And he's a real entrepreneur. Like, don't sleep on a real entrepreneur.
Oh, gee, people remember. So if you don't know this, go back and listen. I don't remember which episode. I think it's episode 10, maybe. Yeah, but I might have gotten it wrong. Yeah, man. Tyrone, serious work. Tyrone has always been that way. Same Tyrone every time.
Yeah,
I like that. Shit, same Larren I know. Same Larren, I like that. And you see, people come and hear it's like, glitzy Larren. Not that. I'm not saying you're not glitzy, sir.
I'm not.
Big up Larren also. Big up Kimala, of course. And I'm really happy that you're doing this. BlueDot. Don't forget, guys, BlueDot Insights.
Yeah.
That's the name of the company.
Yeah, at BlueDot Insights on all platforms.
Yeah.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
And BlueDot Communa.com.
Yeah.
Show notes are there. And Manish Water on Twitter.
Yeah, and IG.
And IG. You want people following IG?
Sure, why not?
Oh, that's cool. I don't even use it anymore really. Hardly. Too much, but I like that. So thank you very much, Larren.
Thanks, man.
Looking forward to hearing from you in 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, man.
Something good. Definitely linking in before the election so we know what's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, for sure.
You say lab and I create.
Yeah, man.
Boy, the man get it right again.
Yeah.
In 1 year, get it right again, boy. Thank you very much, guys. This has been earnings season. I'm Randy Rowe at RT Rowe.
And I'm Danai at H Danai.
Yeah, big up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next week.
All right, guys. Bless up.